Hello and welcome to Nobody's Only Trash Here podcast, episode 45. The day today is the 9th of March 2014. So we're back after our quick break. I mean, I think people out there by this point, when we take a break, they probably expect a large 2-week or so break, but we are actually back. We're the days of us just taking long breaks are now gone. We are going to try and keep this regular, so...
When was there a long break?
Well, do you remember? I think it was like October. There was only like 2 episodes or so.
Oh.
And then one of them was me by myself. I know it was a bit patchy back then.
Oh. No, we're better now.
Yes, more refined.
More professional.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, let's not go too far.
Let's not go nuts.
Yeah.
Relatively more professional than not doing a podcast at all sometimes.
Yes. Good. That's a good way to sum it up.
Because something is always better than nothing, and that's always been our attitude.
You get what you're given.
Yeah. So, we had a week off. Did you do anything interesting in that week?
No.
No?
No, not
You
really.
haven't been secretly playing Still Diver? Nothing like that?
Oh, no. I've been designing that my own game, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's got
Diver.
to be shaping out quite nicely.
Yeah, it's getting there, you know. It's getting there. I expect to release maybe around October.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen any Kickstarters or heard about any funding, so I don't know what's going on with the money there, but I'm assuming you have it. Oh, you stole it? Okay.
I stole it.
Well, you needed money.
Yeah. This game needs to be made. It needs to be better than Still Diver. So I stole it.
Do you have to put that on the cover, like, Joe's submarine game might have been funded by stolen funds?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that will put people off once they see how good a game it is.
No, I don't think so. It's like, sure, we stole the money, but this game will steal your heart.
I stole it from charities as well.
Oh no. It's getting worse and worse.
They were an easy target.
Yeah, no one ever suspects it.
So yeah, look forward to the game. It's going to be great.
Funded by Cancer Research UK. It's Joe's sub game.
And maybe some of the proceeds can go back to charities.
No, let's not. Come on.
Yeah, who am I kidding?
Yeah. You
Stop
storm
me
back
saying
into that shop and just throw some of the funds back in their face.
Yeah. Oh
God.
What about you though? In your week break?
Well, I didn't do much, but the reason why we had the break is because I had one of those drinking weekends, and now I'm on like I'm having a dryish March because that weekend was a messy one. So now I'm bringing it back. I'm going to be a sober boy for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to go into any details of the weekend.
No.
But it was a messy one. That's all I'm going to say.
How long do you expect for this to kind of keep going?
Well, for the rest of March-ish.
Okay.
That's why it's my dryish March. Sorry.
Right, well, are you sure you haven't been drinking?
No.
Okay, well, good luck to you.
No, yeah, I will let you know. Probably not, actually, but...
Save the money you save on not buying alcohol, you can donate to my game.
I don't want to... You'll probably just take it.
I'll steal it off you then, fine.
Yeah, well, that's the way you like to do it.
Yeah, clearly.
Listen, you're a bit bitter because I'm the Bolt Master. It's fine, it's understandable. You've resorted to crime and stealing money.
Well, yeah, if you think of it that way, I am the poor one. I need your bolts.
Yes.
Give me the bolts.
You need the bolts to make the game to make you happy.
Yeah, for some reason my game is made out of bolts. Not quite sure how that works.
You don't know much about game development, but you've got the passion.
It's all there.
You got the fire.
But typically, in the kind of break that we took, lots of big news... Well, not big news, but comparatively quite big news happened, didn't it?
Yes, I think. Maybe. I don't know if any news happened in the week we took the break. I think it did, but I just never remember week-old news. It just disappears.
It's old news.
Yeah. It's not the news anymore, it's old.
It's just old.
Yeah, get it out of there.
So I don't blame you.
We're a young, hip, trendy podcast, not a oldie, goldie one.
Oh, the Golden Oldie podcast.
Yes.
No.
It's an oldie, but a goldie.
It's kind of like the internet sort of thing, where if it's older than a day, that's like it's gone. It's like in internet terms, a day is like a year.
Well, it's if it doesn't like affect you afterwards. Like some news, it's like okay, there's some sort of effect that's going to keep going on. But a lot of these news, they're just kind of here's someone saying something about the gaming industry, and then people's like, oh, I can't believe it, and then just a week later it's gone. It's like that guy who got fired, who I couldn't even tell you the name of. No one cares about him anymore.
Oh, the Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one cares about him.
No, he got fired, he might have another job, he might not, nobody cares, but there was
He may be in the gutter.
Yes. Being robbed by Joe.
Now, I'm only 50% sure that was him. Alright? Not exactly sure.
But there was a large outrage around that, but now I couldn't even remember what he said or anything about him.
Good. We don't have to. We shouldn't have to.
No.
Old news.
So, even though we've just talked about that you just forget news, let's talk about some news.
Yeah, because you write it down sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's on a piece of paper that I bin later on, but sometimes.
So what did you write down?
Alright, well, I think the big news of this week is the new Batman Arkham game got announced as Batman Arkham Knight. Now, the first thing about this game is that apparently it got leaked on game.co.uk, and then once it got leaked on that website, then all the other websites kind of thought, oh, it's out there now, we better push all the trailers and get that done. But I don't know if I believe leaks anymore. Like, how the leak was that they just posted it for pre-order with all the information about the game and everything, the cover art and release date and everything, but apparently that was like a leak or an accident. So I don't know, I don't kind of believe some of these leaks anymore. They just seem to be a bit more of a publicity stunt, because surely these websites are better than that, better than to just let one guy be like, oh, I'll just put up all the Batman information, that'll be cool.
Yeah, there's got to be more to it, because especially on things like Amazon.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but the question is, or the question I'm asking, is that are these actual real leaks, or, are they incompetent, or is it all set up? Is it a conspiracy? This is some marketing ploy.
I think, although I don't... Well, I'm going to say this. Maybe to begin with, it was legitimate mistakes, but maybe because of the amount of hype it gets, maybe companies are seeing, that might work in our favour. Perhaps.
I would think so, but I can't. And what makes me think it is a marketing thing is because they can't be that bad at leaks. If there was like one leak a year, then you'd be like, it's just some dumb mistake. But there are leaks all the time about the games, and they all come from these like websites, like retailers, like Game and Amazon or whatever. Like Amazon France will just put up all the information, and it happens with like almost every single game. So there's a problem here, but I don't know what it is.
You know what it is? It's ever since that damn Edward Snowden.
Oh,
And all
Edward.
his leaking. Yeah, they were like, oh well, we should leak everything now. That's what it is.
It's trendy.
Exactly. That's the hot thing right now is to leak. Not physically.
No, nobody.
Leak information.
Yeah, don't take a leak. Just make a leak happen.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's it. I don't really, but it is quite odd how that always does seem to be happening.
So Batman Arkham Knight, it got leaked by game.com or .co.uk, and then all the stuff went up, and it's being made by Rocksteady, who made Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It's coming out on the PS4, Xbox One and PC, and it's going to be coming out October of this year. Which is not surprising because Arkham City came out in October as well.
Wait.
Yeah?
October of this year?
Yes.
Damn, it's going to compete with my game.
Oh, no. Oh, what are the chances?
Damn it! I have to rethink that. Okay, carry on.
You're going to have to put it in September, rob some more funds, keep it going.
Yeah. To go steal from some orphans or something.
Oh, it's the only way. But no, so info about the game. It's an open world again. Scarecrow is going to be the main villain, and apparently there's going to be a big focus in the open world on the Batmobile. So Batman now has control of the Batmobile, and you can drive around Gotham City using it. There's not that many details out there apart from that. It's just Scarecrow, open world, Batmobile. So I really liked Arkham Asylum, and thought Arkham City was good, but I didn't really like how they handled the open world. There was two problems with the open world for me in City, and one was the Riddler challenges, which were just, there was too many. It was just ridiculous. And then the second problem is that Batman it wasn't fun to be Batman going through a city. Like with Spider-Man, it's fun to web around, run on walls, jump off walls and web stuff. That's fun. But as Batman, it just felt a bit clunky and weird and unnecessary. So when I heard that they're going to introduce the Batmobile, I'm like, yeah, I actually really like that idea. I think they needed a new way to get about the city that's a bit more agile and a bit more fun, and a bit more fun way of exploring the open world, because being Batman, it just didn't work very well. So I don't know exactly how they're going to pull this off, but I think it is a step in the right direction.
So it's basically GTA Gotham.
Well, kind of. I think it's just you can always summon your Batmobile to you, and then you just drive to the locations. Or I think there's a bit more to it than that, but there's not too many details out there. But I guess it is kind of GTA Gotham, really. But that's if the requirements for GTA is an open world with a car. So maybe not. Oh, it is.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, all right. Or what about it could be Red Dead Redemption in Gotham? You whistle for your horse. You whistle. You do your thing for your Batmobile.
Okay, if you had a bat horse, that would be fair enough. But I think a bat car is a bit much.
But it's going to drive to you though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's all right. The question is, are they going to have the Bat bike?
They might do.
And other vehicles.
What's the?
Oh, they should have all the different types of Batmobiles from the past. That would be so cool.
Would it? I can't even really think of that many Batmobiles offhand.
Really?
Well,
I mean, it would be terrible in terms of licenses and stuff. I doubt they could do it.
Well, I don't know that much about the Batman universe. The only Batmobile I really know is obviously the one in Batman Begins, and then the classic where it's a sleek, almost like a wacky races car.
The one from Batman, as in the Michael Keaton one.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It has the big fire at the back.
Yes, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that one. But then you got the 1960s one with Adam West. You should play as Adam West. Did they ever make an old Batman skin that you could put on?
I think so. Yeah, that was a big thing with Arkham City. There's a stupid amount of skins you can just put on. One of them is Batman from the animated series as well.
That's cool. Oh, well, then maybe if they do that kind of stuff, they could do the other Batmobiles. I'm sure people would like that.
Well, I would assume that they would have other different skins for the car, but it wouldn't change the car. It's the same Batmobile. It just looks like the other ones. Because the skins in Arkham City didn't change the way you played, it just changed the way you looked.
Oh, yeah. A little nod to the past would be good, though.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty good at that sort of stuff, so I would assume they would have it here.
Yeah. Cool.
But the only time I can think where you played or used the Batmobile was Batman Begins, the game for that.
I never played that.
Yeah, it was a simple stealth game like My First Splinter Cell with a bit of Batman thrown in there. And there were sections where you played as the Batmobile, and it was essentially Burnout, where you just blasted through. You had a boost, you could crash into other cars, and it was pretty good. But I mean, I guess it's unfair to compare it to that game because it's Rocksteady, it's completely different. But I don't know how you could do something with the Batmobile that isn't essentially Burnout, because the only way to be fun and make the Batmobile fun is to just burn through Gotham, just tearing up the place. You don't want to be like have it control realistically, and you don't want it to be like really awkward. You just want to be like, yeah, take that, criminals.
Oh yeah, you got to have some destruction. Although, thinking about it, I mean, I haven't played Arkham City, but I've seen it, and it would look weird to have proper roads, which makes me think, would they be doing the kind of downtown Gotham as well, like all the skyscrapers and stuff? Or do you think they're going to stick to that like grungy area?
Well, they're saying that they're expanding the game, so this one is definitely going to be a lot bigger than Arkham City was, and I think that does include parts of Gotham, or like a much bigger section of Gotham being in there, so apparently they're like redesigning. I think it's a completely new map they're going for, because they need all the roads to be a lot bigger so you can drive the Batmobile. So they are going from that aspect of how can we design an open world where this car mechanic works.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good having all that kind of dirty, dark side of Gotham, but I in the films anyway, I did like seeing that other side with like all the fancy, clean side. That was cool.
Well, that was all the social commentary about the rich and the poor
and the slums. Yeah. Ooh, deep.
Boo.
Too deep for me.
I hate the rich.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But then, if they do that, but you say it's not fun to go around as Batman.
Well, it's not terrible, but it's not. Well, yeah, it's not fun. I'm going to stick by it.
But you know, you can like hook everywhere, can't you?
Yeah, but that's all.
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man though. Like Batman, you have to hook onto services, and it can. You kind of have to play it. It just the controls are the same as they were in Asylum, and it's not bad. It's just not a fun way to get around an open world when you compare it to riding a horse in Red Dead Redemption or in Spider-Man. Like, that's something that I think is kind of a big deal with open world games. There has to be a fun way to get about the place, or otherwise it's just a bit dull. And Batman Arkham City just didn't quite have that.
Okay. So how about we have a Batman Spider-Man crossover?
Well, that could work. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that would be cool.
So maybe, like, when you want to go across the map, you call Spider-Man, you get like a little piggyback, and he does all the swinging. And then he just drops you off like a taxi.
Well, that would be nice.
I think we should make that game.
Yeah.
I'll steal some more money. We'll get working on that one.
Right. Redirect the charity funds. We need Batman X Spider-Man.
Yep. I mean, no, redirect. I'm still making my one. Don't get me wrong.
Well, no, but some of them we need to split the funds. You know.
Okay.
But
steal more.
Yeah. Yeah. There's plenty more money where that came from. Sadly.
Yeah.
But no, this game, it looks pretty good, but there's not that much about it. Like, one thing that's quite encouraging about this game is that it's only on next generation systems. So this is one of the first truly next generation games, because when you look at Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Battlefield and all that, and Thief, they're all came to next generation, but none of them were made specifically for the next generation, which means that those games kind of had to accommodate for both. But with Batman, what that means is that the open world is truly going to be a next generation open world, so it's going to be as big as a PS4 or Xbox One can handle. And that's going to be really interesting to see just how big this open world's going to be, because I think this might be the first next gen open world game we're going to see. And it might be a good chance for them to actually show off the power, because the graphics aren't that great, but I would assume they can make bigger and better open worlds.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. They didn't actually show anything, did they?
They had a trailer.
It was a trailer. How did you feel about the trailer?
I liked the trailer, but it didn't get me excited for the game.
Would you, I mean, are you annoyed that it doesn't show any gameplay, or do you not mind?
I'm not really annoyed by it, because you know, it's March, and they just revealed the game. I don't mind having a CGI trailer to reveal it, because really it's just the concepts of it's a new one, Batmobile. So I'm not annoyed by it, but I can't get excited for the game until I see how the Batmobile works in gameplay. But I did like the trailer. I did like the monologue from your dad reading out the will and all that. So, cool trailer, but yeah, just a cool trailer.
Okay. Because I saw a lot of people moan, but, you know.
Well,
what was I expecting?
Yeah, I don't think you have a right to, or people have a right to moan. It's March. The game comes out in October. There's going to be plenty of time to see gameplay. Like, they shouldn't... Like, has any game really just come out and it's like, here's the gameplay, and here's a new game? It just doesn't really happen. It's supposed to be, here's the game, get excited that it's coming, and here's a kind of a bit to see. You're not meant to be seeing gameplay.
Yeah, okay then. That's true.
Okay, well, what about you? You haven't dived into the Batman Arkham games, but does the idea of having the Batmobile in the open world, is that interesting to you?
Not particularly, no.
Oh.
No. I mean, I think it's still the core game that I'm probably not a massive fan of, to be honest.
So
I don't think
did you actually play them?
I tried playing Arkham Asylum, but I just couldn't get into it.
Ah.
Because I'm not a massive fan of stealth, and whenever I try to do stealth, I end up just getting my cover blown and then, dying.
Get out of town.
So exactly. So I'm not very good at them, and yeah, I didn't like. I wanted a Batman game where you just go around and shoot people. Maybe not shoot.
Shoot people.
Yeah, I want to change the complete idea of Batman and make him just a killer.
Call of Duty Gotham.
Yeah, something like that. Where you just fight against all the cool bad guys.
Can you imagine how upset people would be if they made a first-person shooter Batman game? Although actually, they already did. They made Gotham City Impersonators, or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a Team Fortress 2 Batman game.
Did they like that? I don't know.
I think it did okay, but nobody's playing it now.
Well, I'm Joe, that Batman Spider-Man game we're making.
Absolutely.
I'm going to purposely have it so that Batman tries to kill every single person.
Oh god!
Just to annoy all the fans.
He just chokes them out just for no reason.
Yep.
And Spider-Man's there, just like, come on, no.
What are you doing? It'll get attention and money. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you got to shock them.
Exactly. Get the shock value up, and then that'll draw attention, and then they'll buy it. That's how business works.
It absolutely does, and that's why you're a successful video game guy.
Yep. Well, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. No, I am. That's fair.
Yeah, stand by it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this game, it looks good. We kind of got to wait, but it's more that Rocksteady's back, and it's next generation Batman. So that's exciting. And also it's pretty cool that this is going to be the last Arkham game. They confirmed that this is the last in the proper trilogy, because if you don't include Origins, which is fair enough, this is the last game. So that's quite interesting, because it seems like recently with Batman, they've been doing stories where they actually end. Like with most comic book comic book heroes and superheroes, they just kind of keep going. But with the Christopher Nolan films, The Dark Knight Rises had an end where it just actually ended properly, which you never saw. And now we're going to get Arkham Knight, which is also going to be an end. So I think that's pretty interesting to see what they could do with the story, considering this is going to be the last one for them.
When you say The Dark Knight Rises ended, how do you mean?
Well, it was the end of the Batman had an arc, and he ended it off. Without giving any spoilers.
Okay.
Like, you know how usually with comic book films and just comic book stuff in general, they then look to the sky and it's like there's always more criminals to fight and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like oh no, Green Goblin's here again and stuff like that. They never actually have an end of the villain or the superhero. Sorry.
Okay, all right, yeah. It's just that at the end of the Dark Knight Rises, there is something is purposely put there to make you think it's going to continue.
I don't think that's what it's meant to be. I think that was just to end it on a nicer note.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it's supposed to be, oh no, his Batman is still Batman doing stuff. It's just supposed to be, yeah, Bruce Wayne is doing what he's doing now.
Wait, are we even talking about the same bit?
Well, I'm talking about the very end.
The very, very end?
Yeah.
I don't know what part I'm talking about comes, where it comes. Okay, right. Spoiler alert. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Right? There's your warning. Skip forward about 30 seconds. When Robin finds a cave, surely that's like Batman.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Okay, so that's not... Yeah, but that's like Robin doing his own thing. Like, okay, okay. The Dark Knight Rises was the end of Bruce Wayne and his story. Okay. Maybe they did leave it open for more Batman, but Bruce Wayne had an end.
So you don't think... You think he survived?
Yeah, they show it, pretty much.
I only ask... Oh, it's been 30 seconds, I better stop.
It's fine.
I'll just stop.
Okay, but that's not the point. The point's not about Dark Knight Rises. The point is about superheroes are now getting more definitive ends, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, with Arkham City, I won't spoil the end of that game, but that had a very concrete ending when it came to what happened in that game, and I found that to be very refreshing, rather than just hitting the reset on everything, where it's like, oh, he's now in Arkham Asylum again. They actually did something more concrete and had an impact in the overall story. So I like that that's the direction they're going in, and I like that they're going to continue that by having this game be the last one.
Can they... So you really like the ending?
Of Arkham City?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Do you think they can make an even better ending?
Well, they would have to end their ending of the whole Batman thing, so... Maybe. The potential's there.
Okay. Well, they seem to do a good job.
Well, that's all it is at the moment, right? It's Rocksteady making it, and they're good, so it should be good.
Yeah. That's what you can say.
Yeah.
Unless in a little kind of... Well, not gap, but since Origins came out, they suck.
Well, that's the thing with Origins. There's like... They really shot themselves in the foot with Origins, because now there's this big confusion where some people are like, yeah, but Origins sucked. It's like they really needed to make it clear that Rocksteady didn't make that game. And most people are aware of that fact. Most people know that it wasn't the same developer. But you still see them on the internet, the few people who just kind of got put off the Batman games because Origins wasn't very good. Which is sad, because this new one's probably going to be a lot better.
Good riddance to them.
Yeah.
It's just kind of filtering out all the dumb people.
It's evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well that was Batman Arkham Knight. Not got much else to say until they put out gameplay and stuff like that.
You say not much else, but that was quite a long time talking about that.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Like over 20 minutes. But that's all I got to say,
Okay.
Not that much. Okay, so the next bit of news is about The Last of Us, and it was... I don't know if the film of The Last of Us was official up to this point, but I don't think it was. It pretty much came out that they are officially doing a Last of Us movie with the people or the production studio who made Resident Evil, and it's going to be written by Neil... Oh god... Druckmann?
Oh, Neil Druckmann.
No, Druckmann, yeah?
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
He's the guy who wrote and directed the actual game itself.
Oh, okay.
So they've gotten him on to write the film, and him and Sam Raimi, who directed the Spider-Man films, are going to produce the film. I don't think they've said who the director is, but that's pretty much all the details we've got so far. Well, with this story, it's pretty much, yeah, this is official, they've got people behind it, and The Last of Us movie is moving forward.
I haven't really thought about it up to this point. I mean, I saw the stories, but I haven't really, actually thought about it. But I don't really care.
Oh, no.
I don't see the point at all, to be honest.
Okay, but what about I'm assuming that you're talking about if they just took the game story and made it into a film. But what if it was just a story told within that universe rather than the exact same one?
Well, you see, that's an option, yeah. You think that would be a way of not repeating the same thing. But then, how can you do a film like that without those two characters? That's what everyone liked. It seems odd. It seems very odd. I mean, you could do it about, what are they called? The clickers and all those zombies.
The clickers hanging out.
But, at the end of the day, they're still just zombies. And the whole point of the game was the relationship between Ellie and Joel. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's odd.
Well, it could be... There's a lot they could do. So, before we kind of dismiss it, I guess we have to know exactly what they're going to do. Because they could do a very similar story, but then put in like a twist. You know how with the Walking Dead TV series, it's based off the comic books and a lot of the same stuff happens, but a lot of the characters, like some of them die early, some of them, live on longer than they should have done. It's the same basic story, they've just twisted a lot of elements to it. So I would assume that's what they're going to do here, where it's the same basic story about Joel and Ellie surviving all the clickers and everything, but they're going to twist the story quite a lot to make it fresh for people who already played the game.
Yeah, they could do that. I mean, the only other option they could do is, focus it on, like what you suggested at first, like focus it on a different aspect, but then I don't know how many people would... Well, I suppose that could work, because people who haven't played the game wouldn't realise it's any different, and people who have played the game would understand it, so that could still work. But I think it's just a bit of a cheap... It's like it was already practically a film, and I don't see why. I don't know.
Well, that's the Hollywood logic, though. The closer that a game is to a film, then the more likely they will make a film out of it, which doesn't really make that much sense at all, but it means that with The Last of Us, they were like, hey, this is very story driven, so we can just take the story and put it on the big screen.
Yeah, maybe it's just, prejudice against video game movie adaptations, in that it's going to suck. But now you've said that the guy who wrote the actual game is on board, that's a good sign at least. It's got the guy who was involved. Well, the fact Sam Raimi, he's a bit dodgy.
What other films has he done? Because I only know him from the Spider-Man films, and they're not very good.
I think he did the original Evil Dead films.
Oh,
a long time ago.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know what. I know he's done some films recently. I'm going to have to maybe look it up, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he's quite a big director.
The good thing about this is that, the guy who directed it is actually on board to it. So, Naughty Dog are a studio who I don't think they would put their name to a film that they don't think is very good. Like, you get some of those studios are like that. Like, when Nintendo was trying to make a Metroid film, they got John Woo involved. And then they kind of started to develop it, and they were just like, no, we don't like where this is going, scrap the whole thing. So there's a good chance with Naughty Dog that their people are involved, and heavily involved with this studio, so they're going to make sure it's quality. Because, of course, the production studio they picked are the same people that made Resident Evil, and those films are just horrible, like, just really bad. They gave it to some guy called Paul W.S. Anderson, who's just a complete... does not know what he's doing at all, not very talented in any way, just turned those films into a complete mess and just so boring and just awful. I hate those films. But anyway, I don't think Capcom was really heavily involved in that. They just let this Paul W.S. Anderson guy get a hold of it. He did whatever he wanted to do with the franchise and they let it go. But with Naughty Dog, they seem to be more heavily involved, so the property at least is going to be treated a lot better.
Yes. It's in safer hands, at least.
Yeah.
Also, I just looked up Sam Raimi. I thought he'd done more films than he actually has. And when I say more, I also mean better. Because mainly he's done the Evil Dead films. He did, the Spider-Man trilogy.
Sure.
And since then, he's only done 2 films since Spider-Man 3. Drag Me to Hell.
Oh.
that horror film.
Is that meant to be good? I
don't think so, but
No.
the second one is Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh, ah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, never mind. You know, it's a good game, so stands by itself. It doesn't matter if the film's not going to be very good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's if it sucks, then you still got the game. Maybe that's a bonus of it, of the game being so much like a film.
Well, that's why like some people react negatively when they hear that something in a medium is going to be taken to another one. But I don't really see that because it never really affects it in any bad way. Like, the Mario games are still good, even though they made that stupid cartoon out of it. And same with Donkey Kong Country and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really matter. And Resident Evil 4 is still a fantastic game, despite the fact that the films are terrible. So, I mean, I don't want The Last of Us to be turned into a series of films like Resident Evil, but if they give it a go, I think it's kind of worth trying to make these video game films, because eventually they'll figure it out. One day they will make one really good video game film, and I can see it coming, so I'm kind of for them giving it a go.
Okay then, so the question is, who do you want to play? If it was about Joel and Ellie, who would play Joel? I mean, it's quite obvious who would play Ellie.
Well, I would play Joel.
Oh, okay.
In a debut role. Of course.
Okay. Because who's the actress that looks like Ellie? And people thought it was her.
Oh, Ellen Page.
Even though she's a bit old, people say, "Oh, she should play her." But what about Joel? That's more interesting.
Joel, okay. Well, I don't know that many actors. You got
Joe. What some people have suggested.
Is it Bryan Cranston again?
Bryan Cranston? No, it isn't. But it was Liam Neeson.
Oh. I guess that could work, because Liam Neeson has that kind of gruff voice, and it's also very distant in all the films he plays.
Yeah. I thought it was quite a good... Well, maybe good.
Well, I think with these sorts of roles, I think you've got to give it to, like, an unknown, really. Like, it's too weird to watch a film based on a game where you have the guy from Taken in it. Like, I think it's too many steps. It just takes you out of it a bit too much.
But then, you know, this is a video game film, so maybe they've got to get some names to try and draw other people to it.
Yeah, but then it doesn't make for a good film, though.
George Clooney.
Yes, in space.
Roger Moore, I don't know.
Roger Moore, wow.
No, Gary Oldman, there you go. Sorted.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Consider it done. No, I don't know. I want them to go for an unknown. For the reason I just said, so it's not distracting the amount of levels it would be.
Oh, what about the guy that actually voiced him?
What, Troy Baker?
Yeah.
I mean, it could work.
He would be unknown in terms of that.
Well, everyone kind of knows his face now. I know I do, because of Bioshock Infinite, The Last of Us, and Batman Arkham Origins.
It's gonna be weird if it is about Joel and Ellie, and it doesn't sound like Joel. You know.
Yeah, but it's just a gruff voice, though. That's what it is.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it's not like... What was the other game that came out that had proper actors in it?
Oh, Beyond Two Souls.
Was it Beyond Two Souls? Yeah.
Had Ellen Page in it.
Oh, there you go. So, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with casting, though. Like, I'm not going to throw my opinion in because... Oh, I just did already, but I'm going to take it back because I don't know. I don't know how you make that work, where you have a character in a game who has a very distinct look, and with all the technology behind Joel, it's like he is a human being. And I don't know how you get somebody to play that role. Like, I can't think of a... Damn it. I was about to say I can't think of a role that they recast and had it been the same character, but of course, James Bond has done it many times, so... Damn it. But apart from James Bond, I can't think of anyone that has pulled it off and made it like successful, where it's jumping the median and it doesn't look weird.
Doctor Who.
No, that's a bit different as well. Doctor Who, he regenerates. They put it into the show. With this, they're just taking the universe from the game and just putting it on the screen. So I don't think they can have somebody play Joel and have it not be a bit weird. So screw it. Let it be Liam Neeson. Why the hell not?
Okay. Also, one more thing for Ellie. People suggested what's her name? Chloe something.
Chloe?
Yeah, the one from Kick-Ass.
Oh, no.
Because obviously, what's her name again? The one that looks like her?
Ellen Page?
Ellen Page, she's too old, so they need someone younger.
Well, to be fair,
She's
this
quite
other girl is... This Chloe, she's a bit old at this point.
Or what about that one out of War of the Worlds?
Oh, God.
She's probably really old now as well.
Yeah, that was 2005. 9 years.
Damn time.
Oh.
Yeah, that won't work either.
No, I think for Ellie it's got to be an unknown. Like Joe, I don't know. But with Ellie it has to be like an unknown 14-year-old who can act really well.
I got it.
Oh.
Joel is Liam Neeson.
Sure.
And Ellie is Liam Neeson.
Oh! like the Nutty Professor, something like that.
Yeah. It's just all green screened.
That would be so good.
I'd watch it.
I would.
It could be called The Last of Me or something.
The Last of Liam.
The Last of Liam.
That'd be so good.
Okay, so we've got to get that film into production as well.
Watch out for the clicker. Thanks, Joel.
So we've got 2 games and a film now.
Oh, God, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we're going to be busy.
Might have to take another week break to get these done.
Yeah, that's fine.
But no, so with the Last of Us movie, I'm holding out hope because there's some good names behind it, but we'll just have to see what they do because there's so much they could do.
Isn't that what we say for practically everything on this podcast?
No,
we have to wait and see.
No way. I don't believe it.
It is.
No,
he's lying.
Name one other topic that we've done that with.
I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
You're
saying that.
I was hoping you'd just say Batman because that's what we just talked about.
It's too obvious.
Oh.
Too obvious.
Wait, hold on. I've got some on my other side. Oh, Sonic Boom. Yeah. I think we said that about that.
Mm-hmm.
Although I said it looked pretty good, so...
Oh, and that Chroma.
Oh yeah, Chroma. We'll have to wait and see.
Have to wait and see. Everything. We're pretty boring.
We are. But we'll have to wait to see if we improve.
Yeah.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Who knows?
I don't.
Okay then.
Right.
What's next?
Well, now those are the 2 major 2. So now we've got little tidbits. Do you want to talk about South Park at all?
The only thing I want to say about South Park was it's finally come out after all the problems with THQ. And you'd think when a game goes through that sort of thing, it usually ends up, suffering because of it in terms of quality.
Yes.
Like you could say Duke Nukem, for example, Duke Nukem Forever, or something like that. Anyway.
Alien Colonial Marines.
Yeah, but I was quite surprised at how well received the game has been in terms of critics.
Everyone loves it. Apparently they nailed it.
Yeah, they really hit that spot where it's like just bad enough to be funny. Like they're going for that sort of crappy RPG sort of thing, but really having all the details of the show.
Well, I think what happened is that they were pretty much done with the game, and then THQ went under, so obviously the money stopped coming in, and then it was just a case of Ubisoft picking up the pieces, going through all those last stages you have to go through, and then putting it out. But from what I can tell, it was pretty much done before THQ went.
Okay. But it's just good that it's good.
Yeah, I do really want to play it. It's just a case of I don't want to pay full price for it, so I'm going to wait until it comes down, and then I'll play it. But still, I'm glad it's really good.
Yeah, and it's also a good sign. It's kind of the opposite of The Last of Us. But not a film, it's a TV show, but still. So it's a TV show going into gaming, once again. But like how that Neil guy is doing the film... what are they called? Matt Parker and Trey... What's his name?
No, it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I think they were really heavily involved in this, getting all the jokes and the story and stuff. So, it can, if people are passionate enough about it, then they can be good when they cross over. So, yeah, it's a good sign.
Well, I think it's that, but I think it's also having the right idea. You shouldn't just make something because, we should put it in the other medium. They have to have an idea. So it seems like, Matt and Trey had this idea for this story, and then Obsidian was like, we'll make it an RPG, we'll make it look like a show. There's a core idea that makes a lot of sense to turn that story in South Park into a video game. But if you don't have that, then you're just kind of forcing it a little bit. So I think that's what happened with the other South Park games, but because they wrote a proper story, it worked out this time.
Yeah, I think it's because of those previous South Park games and how crap they were. They were like, right, let's make a good one now. Sick of those ones. Because, yeah, they were awful.
Yeah. I remember I never had the South Park game on the N64, but I borrowed it off someone. Yeah. And it was my mum went to someone's house, I was there, I was I don't know, 8 or something like that. And then I was like, can I borrow the game? And they were like, yes. And I was like, awesome. And I was walking home with it, just holding the cartridge in my hand. And I dropped it in a load of stinging nettles. And I was like, no, I can see it, it's right there. So what I ended up doing is just putting my hand in, stinging my hand horrendously, and just yanking it out. Because I couldn't leave it there, it wasn't my game, and I wanted to play it. So I just yanked it out, got stung a lot, and then I was just sitting at home later playing the game with a red hand, where I just kind of ruined it a little bit.
And was this the awful throwing snowballs at turkeys one?
Yeah, that was that one. Wasn't even good.
What a pain to go through for that.
I know, it wasn't worth it. I should have just left it there. And then when the person was like, what happened to it? I'll be like, look mate, I did you a favour. It wasn't very good, so I threw it away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a shame. I feel very bad for your past self.
Yeah, well, you gotta give it a go.
What, put your hands in stinging nettles?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
What is it? What is with stinging nettles? Is it the middle that you can't touch, or is it the outside?
It's the middle.
Yeah?
I don't know. All I know is that if you grab it really fast, it doesn't sting you.
Huh. So I should have just started ripping at these stinging nettles quick, just picking up all the leaves.
Because it's all the little hairs, they break instead of going into your hand.
Huh. Really, I should have just stamped around it and then pulled it out.
Yeah, you were dumb.
Yeah, I was young. Full of life.
Well, not after the game.
No. That's what did it. That's when I knew I was older.
It's like one of those sort of boy into man stories. Play South Park and it's like, oh, what have I done?
Some people go hunting, I guess people go hunting. Some people just make a shed, I don't know. What's the other manly things that people do to become men? I don't think I had that moment, apart from this South Park.
Fight a bear.
Some people fight a bear, and some people drop South Park in singing nettles and then play it and regret everything.
Yeah, it's a horrible story.
Yeah.
Don't let it. I don't want to wish that on anyone else.
No. Cautionary tale.
Why they still be playing that game? I don't know.
But no, so South Park does look good, and I will play it at some point. And it seems to have been the biggest game this year so far. I know it's going to get eclipsed, but out of all the releases we've had, this is the one that people really care about and are talking about, and people really like.
Definitely. I've seen it quite a lot on places like Reddit, and it's everywhere on YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially because some of the bigger ones got it early, so that sort of stuff.
Of course they did.
Mm-hmm. Was it leaked? No.
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 Yeah, I found that because I watched the Game Grumps, and they got really good. They did a playthrough of Punch-Out on the Wii. I really liked it. It's one of their best ones. But now they've gone a bit downhill, and part of that is they're doing a Let's Play of South Park: The Stick of Truth. The day it comes out, they're playing it.
Was it funny? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
I suppose you want to, wait for yourself.
Yeah, I don't... we've talked about it before, but there's just that thing where you see a YouTuber let's play a game as soon as it's come out, and it's a red flag. Like, unless there's a justifiable reason why they would do it, it's like, ugh, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not... At least, the only thing going for them is at least it's an RPG, so you could be a different class, but that's pretty much where the differences end, I've heard.
Yeah, it's like... Because RPGs don't usually do that well. Well, actually, they do pretty well. There's an audience for it, but... I wonder how many people actually went out and brought this game and just had no idea it was a turn-based RPG. They just loaded it up expecting South Park, and then they were just doing turn-based combat.
I bet quite a few.
Because there's no way you would know without reading it on like a gaming website.
Yeah, like you look at all the kind of screenshots and all the little bits of gameplay, and it's just like, oh, you're walking around in South Park, it looks fun, you can explore, but then, oh wait, no, that's how you fight. Okay.
Now I'm putting on equipment.
Yeah, that could be quite jarring, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I guess that's the one downside to making this game look exactly like the TV show, that you don't know what game it is until you actually play it yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think we're ever going to get the Simpsons game where they do this? They go all in, make it good?
No, not since how massively popular Tapped Out has been.
Oh.
I don't think they need to care anymore.
Well, I think the closest we can get is that if EA let the license go and then somebody else takes it up, but with Tapped Out, like you say, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No. I mean, I wonder why they made the Simpsons game.
Well, I think the Simpsons game was them trying to do that, like trying to make it as close to the show and be good as they could, because they got the writers in, and honestly, the cutscenes are funny. I really like the cutscenes and story of that game.
It's not a terrible game. No, it's not terrible. It's just it could be so much more.
Yeah, it's just the gameplay is like standard platformer fighting whatever. Like, it's not a proper game. Like South Park, it's clearly an RPG, and maybe that's what they should have done. But this one is just a run through the levels, jumping around at stuff, and I think the time it came out in 2007, you couldn't make those games anymore. They were PS2 games, and it just kind of felt a bit boring and dated.
Yeah. I mean, they were going to make a Simpsons game too, like a sequel to it, but then they cancelled for some reason. So I'd like to think something was in the works, maybe.
But could they even make a game where they replicate the animation style, though? Like, South Park is so simplistic that I think they could... That's the reason why they did it. But with The Simpsons, I'm not sure if that would work.
Well, we've discussed our opinions on the way that The Simpsons game looks compared to, say, Hit and Run.
Yeah.
Whereas I like Hit and Run more, you like The Simpsons game more?
Yes.
That's fine. But
it's all
Simpsons
good.
Simpsons Hit and Run 2 would look really good. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's what they would have to do, right? Like, the best Simpsons game out there was Hit and Run, so if they were going to return to it, Hit and Run 2.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind some of the cell shading sneaking in, I think.
Okay, well, at this point they could do it on a PS4, so it would look really good.
Yeah, it would look nice. Maybe that's... I think it's just... I was just scarred from the PS2. That's all. But yeah, could look nice.
Oh well.
But yeah, definitely South Park has that style where it's like the flat paper, so it was pretty easy for them to replicate that.
Yeah. And it does look great, so I'll play it at some point, I just don't know when.
When it's cheap.
Very cheap. Okay, so we got two other things we could talk about. We got the PS4 has now outsold the Wii U worldwide, but I don't think there's any real surprise in that. Like, the PS4 was selling great in the Western world, and now that it's out in Japan, of course it was going to outsell the Wii U, so I think that's it on that, really.
We'll have to see later on. No.
We will have to wait and see, yes.
Actually, we don't. This is the result, I guess.
Shh, no, it's a long game. They're playing the long game.
Oh, okay.
We'll wait.
Maybe the Wii will come back.
We'll wait until Mario Kart 8 comes out, then we'll see. Yeah.
Aha, yes.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Right, and then the other bit is news is that Watch Dogs release date, I think, also got leaked. And then it properly got announced in a very similar way to the 27th of May. Which...
March, April. Oh, it's actually close. Yeah.
The weirdest thing about this, though, is that they were worried about Watch Dogs because they were like, okay, we need to make it as good as it needs to be. But now they're releasing the game in May, which... I mean, good for them, releasing it in such a weird month, but it seems like if you were going to release a game, then releasing it for the holiday season would have made more sense. But then they delayed it to release at a really awkward time, so... I guess that means that they really do mean what they say when they said we're going to actually make it as good as it can be, because they probably lost some sales by delaying it.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, there's not many games, are there, for next gen? So maybe it won't affect them too badly in that.
Well, I think that was part of it as well. They had Assassin's Creed 4, so if they could take out Watch Dogs and just have Assassin's Creed stand by itself, then that probably helped out that game quite a bit. And then Watch Dogs could be its own release, so...
Yeah. Although I'm sure a lot of people are just going to buy it on, 360 anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think,
yes.
With the amount of PS4s being sold, I think we'll see a boost in sales around the time.
It is that game that people have been waiting for, isn't it, Watch Dogs? One of them, anyway.
And now that Batman has been announced as a next-gen exclusive, because that's when people were always going to make the jump once all these next-gen exclusives come out. So I think people are going to be more willing to buy a PS4 or Xbox One because of Watch Dogs, because they know that they need it for Batman.
Yeah. It's one of those, that's a big enough game to draw people in, definitely.
Well, I think I might get a PS4, or I haven't decided yet, but I might pre-order a PS4 with Watch Dogs, because there's a bundle on Amazon you can get. I'm not committing yet, but it's very tempting.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which means I will go to Next Gen on the 27th of May. And that's the reason why I'm thinking about it at the moment, because it's March, and obviously I don't want a console now, but... hey, upgrading to the next gen in May, that seems pretty reasonable. And if there's Watch Dogs out, then hey, that seems like the perfect time before the holiday season.
So not October?
No. I mean, it depends on the likelihood of a price drop happening. Because I would happily wait until Batman if there's a price drop, but I know the Xbox One had a price drop, but I can't see the PS4 going down to 300 quid until next year.
No. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because that's when you should buy a console. You can buy a console whenever, but the question is, are you going to buy it when it's this high price or at a lower price? And if there's games out that look really good at that higher price, then it makes sense. But if not, then you might as well just wait until the lower price, and any games that are out there, then you can just pick them up then.
So... if you do get it, I expect to hear lots of, an in-depth review.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, sorry. Work to do.
Oh. I don't think I can even record PS4 stuff, so...
No, that's one of the things that they said they're going to fix at some point.
I hope so.
Is that whole, HDMI sort of thing.
Yeah, because I don't think... yeah, the Xbox One doesn't have it.
No.
Although I have seen them... there are NAC Let's Plays out there.
Yeah, there's some capture cards that can do it because they don't use... they might just use component, I don't know.
Yeah, but the PS4 doesn't have component.
Oh. I don't know how they did them.
Yeah, neither do I, it's weird.
That is weird.
But one more thing I want to say about Watch Dogs is that I'm annoyed at Ubisoft because they delayed the game, saying we want to make it better, make sure it's finished, but they delayed the Wii U version. So the game is coming out on PS4, PS3, 360, Xbox One, PC on the 27th of May, but it's to be announced for Wii U. It's like, what's the point at that? Like, what's the point? Just cancel it. And I don't quite get how they don't have the time or resources to make it at the same time. They were planning to have it be on the Wii U on the same day as the other games before, so I don't quite get why giving themselves an extra 5 months to make the game would mean they would have to delay the Wii U version, or why they would even bother. Because I read that they just stopped making it. The guy behind it was like, yeah, we're putting it on hold, we're just not making the Wii U version, we're going to concentrate on the other versions and then come back to it. And it's just like, it's frustrating because other companies are like, we're not going to put our game on the Wii U. And I can see where they're coming from. It's not selling that well, and if they would have to put a lot of resources into it, then why would you? But why would you bother to put in all the resources and then shoot yourself in the foot by making the game come out like a month or so afterwards? It's baffling how they think that they can make any money from having that game be delayed like that.
They just don't like the Wii U.
They don't. They got annoyed about the Zombie U not selling too well. And the biggest reason why Zombie U didn't sell well is because all those reviews who said it wasn't very good, which is wrong, by the way. It's a great game and really fun. It's just I guess you either get it or you don't. So a lot of reviewers came out and said, don't buy Zombie U, it's not that great. So it didn't sell that well. And now Ubisoft have this weird thing where they want to just say, screw you, Nintendo, we're not going to support the Wii U anymore. But they can't say that, so now they're going to do this half-assed support. And really, I just want them to piss off. Like, just don't make the game anymore. Just take a stand and don't annoy Wii U owners with this, oh, it's coming later.
It is quite teasing, isn't it?
Well, it's not the first time it's happened, that's the thing. Like Assassin's Creed 4, it didn't come out on the same day as PS3 and 360. We had the whole Rayman Legends thing. I think Splinter Cell was okay, but it's just getting tiresome that every single game on the Wii U, every third-party game is being delayed, and then they're like, oh, it didn't sell well. Why didn't people wait an extra 2 weeks to buy it on the Wii U? It's like, it's obvious why. I would have brought Batman Arkham Origins on my Wii U, but they delayed it by 2 weeks, so I bought it on my PS3 instead. And that's it. It's that simple.
You should go and be in, like, businessman.
Well,
although, like, you know, it's not a difficult thing to work out, I suppose.
It's the simplest thing. It's just like, just don't bother. If you're not putting any resources into the Wii U version at the moment, then just don't put any more in. Surely you're not going to make that money back.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Unless they're waiting for, like, the boost from the other games.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Well, it's quite funny. Watch Dogs is coming out 3 days before Mario Kart 8. So they are coming out around the same time.
Okay.
And Mario Kart 8 is one of the big games of the year, I'm going to claim.
Why not? You know, you haven't got many to pick from, I suppose.
Well, here's the thing. Because everyone's always saying, like, when will the Wii U just die? And in my book, you got 2 chances left, or Nintendo have 2 chances. Wind Waker HD didn't really do it, although it didn't do badly. The Wii U's not, like, doing as badly as people are saying, it's just not doing good. Wind Waker HD didn't do it, Super Mario 3D World didn't do it, even though those games both sold 1 million copies. So now it's Mario Kart 8. Some say Super Smash Bros, but Super Smash Bros Brawl didn't sell that much on the Wii compared to the other franchises, so I don't include that. So it's Mario Kart 8 or the new Zelda. So if Mario Kart 8 doesn't do it, then it's looking really likely that the Wii U will never take off. But I think people are excited about this game. I know I am. Everybody likes Mario Kart. The Wii U is cheap enough where you can just say, hey, I'll go buy a Wii U for, you know, dirt cheap just to get Mario Kart 8. And it could happen, but I've said that before, and it didn't happen.
Yep. There's the obligatory Wii U sort of discussion point in the podcast.
Yes. No, it's been... We had a week off. I've got to put it in there.
Okay, that's fair. Fair enough.
But you know what, with this Wii U thing? We're just going to have to wait and see.
There you go.
That actually was the point I was making. Damn it.
You just got to stop. Nothing wrong with you.
Don't blame it. That's partly on you. Don't give me that.
Alright.
Okay, not that one, but the other ones.
Yeah, alright, yeah. I don't know, nothing to do with Wii U, but on the other ones, fair enough.
Okay, well, let's move on to what's coming out, or recent releases and all that kind of stuff. So, we got 3 pretty big games coming out next week. The first one, Titanfall. Yeah.
Oh.
You're excited, I can tell in your voice. I can hear it.
Well, people seem to like it, but I never played it, so...
Well, I'm quite curious to see if people are going to rush out and buy Xbox Ones for this game. Because the question is, did the people who really like Titanfall already buy their Xbox One? Or did those people wait until Titanfall came out to go pick them up? Because I would assume most people who thought Titanfall looked awesome, they just bought the console straight away, being like, oh, I'll buy the console now, I'll play some Dead Rising 3, and then when Titanfall comes out, I'll check that out. Because Xbox One did get decent numbers, even though it didn't compare to the PS4. A lot of people did still go out and buy the console, so a lot of people are talking about this game, but I don't know if that Call of Duty audience is actually going to make this jump. Because that's who they need, the Call of Duty people. So, we'll have to wait and see.
Do you ever feel like you're just a broken record?
Never, no.
Okay.
Sometimes. But it's true, I just don't know, because a lot of people seem to be excited for Titanfall, but... this is as close as we're going to get to, reinventing Call of Duty, so we'll see if people actually care about that, or care enough about it to actually give Microsoft money.
When you say reinventing Call of Duty...
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean people have always been... Since Modern Warfare 2, people are like, it's the same old stuff, it's not innovative, they need to mix it up, it's just the same game over and over. So... Titanfall is that. It's got a lot of the Call of Duty design and being well designed and fun multiplayer, but it actually does have all these new elements. Everything has kind of been changed and refined. There's been the parkour stuff, everything's been changed and tweaked, and then you've got the mechs. So this is what people have been moaning about. So now we'll see if it's just the internet people just complaining because something's popular and I'm not into it, so it must suck and I'm going to bitch and moan. Or if they actually were waiting for Call of Duty to get reinvented in some way. Because if they were waiting, then Titanfall is the game they're going to go for, because that's what it is.
So basically we're going to call their bluff.
Yeah, we're going to say, okay, here it is. Go buy it. If you still have an interest in Call of Duty and want innovation, here it is.
My prediction is, I think it will increase sales.
Okay, it definitely will. But do you think it will say put the Xbox One numbers up to PS4 numbers? Because the PS4 doesn't have a big exclusive until a week after, actually, with Infamous.
Let's just say yes.
Absolutely.
Just for the sake of it.
No way it won't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Going to take a different view, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Titanfall is going to push the Xbox One over the edge or boost it up to PS4 numbers, and I think if people were convinced by the Xbox One and Titanfall, they would have brought it already. So in the UK it might be a different story because of the price drop, but everywhere else it'll be standard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next game is Dark Souls 2.
I didn't play the first one.
I did, not a big fan, so...
Really?
It's fine, but it's one of those things where if you're going to make a game difficult, you have to... The reason why I gave up is because the game messed up, and I got all the way to this section where you're on the bridge. People who play the game should know it, it's early on in the game. And you have to fight all these different enemies. There's a boss in there that you kill, and then you're most likely going to get killed and have to do all that section again. And then there's a bit where you have to run and just keep running before a dragon burns you alive. And the dragon is supposed to kill all the enemies on the bridge, but it didn't. And then there was no checkpoint, so I was just running around trying to find a checkpoint. And then I eventually got killed because I couldn't find one, and I had to go all the way back And it turns out there was one ladder that I missed because I was being chased by enemies that were supposed to have been killed, and you're meant to kick down the ladder to go back to your spawn point so it creates a shortcut. And I'm just not going to do it. I just, lost all faith in the people that made the game. My voice went there.
It was that emotional.
So much passion.
That distressing.
But yeah, so I just lost all faith in the people that made the game that the checkpoints are going to be fair. Because up to that point, it was harsh but fair. And if I have to kick down one ladder that I just happened to miss because the game messed up, all that engagement I had, all that investment I had is gone. I don't care about your crappy game anymore. So I just moved on.
So you're not too fussed about the sequel?
No, but I think that's going to be a big deal though. More people are going to be talking about Dark Souls 2 than Titanfall, I would guess.
I think so, yeah. So I've heard quite a bit on that.
Yeah, people are excited. So I think Dark Souls 2, it'll be similar to South Park. It doesn't seem like it's the big AAA release that's coming out over this buying season or whatever, but it's the one that people are actually going to play and talk about and be excited over.
Yep, have to wait and see.
And then Nintendo, they're not taking this lying down. They got stuff in the pipeline. In the same week, Yoshi's New Island is coming out on the 3DS.
It's got a new island?
It's brand new.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it on again?
3DS.
Okay.
Cool.
I didn't hear anything about this game before.
Oh.
Did we talk about it?
I don't think so, but they announced it last year.
Oh, right.
But
missed that one.
Yeah, it's just a new Yoshi's Island, pretty much. Although it's quite interesting because Yoshi's New Island is the biggest 3DS release that we're getting in this time frame. And you compare that to last year, there was a big drop-off. And it's also quite interesting, the same thing has happened with the Wii U, where people last year were complaining and bitching so much about Nintendo's releases on the console, and this year they're even worse. There's nothing coming out for the thing until bloody Mario Kart 8, so you're not quite hearing that outrage. So, and also with the 3DS, there's not that many releases, apart from Yoshi's New Island. And then in May we get a couple, so why aren't people complaining now about Nintendo release schedule? Because it's a lot worse.
Maybe they've left.
Maybe.
Maybe they're gone.
Yeah, I hope so. I just don't... Because that really did annoy me last year, how much people complained about it. Because it's there are games, it's just you can't compare Lego City Undercover to Bioshock and The Last of Us and Tomb Raider. It's just not fair, really, and it's just not going to happen. And also the Xbox One and PS4 don't have that many games out. In this time frame, they only have Titanfall and Infamous as exclusives, and that's it. So I'm sure I've talked about this before, so I won't go into it, even though I already have, clearly. But it's weird that people aren't complaining at Nintendo when they set themselves up by not having that many games come out around this time.
Is it called Yoshi's New Island?
Yeah, Yoshi's New Island.
That sounds weird to me.
Why?
I don't know. That just doesn't sound right.
Well, it's going to sound weird in 2 years if they make a new one.
Newer.
Brand spanking New Island.
Now there's a game I would play. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good luck to you, Yoshi.
Yes.
Interesting that you call him Yoshi.
Yeah, I'm a Yoshi man. I always gone Yoshi.
Interesting. Well, not really, but...
Well, that's how he says. He says Yoshi. He doesn't go Yoshi. Well, maybe he does. I don't know.
I just always associated Yoshi with the American way of saying it.
Oh.
Like Mario.
Yeah, I don't say Mario.
That's weird.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Enough of the accents.
Well, when you say moving on, we've actually come to the end of the podcast already.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry that is a bit of a shorter one this week, but it's just the way it happened, really. It's just a bit of a short one.
One story that we haven't addressed is Oscars happened. That's about it, though.
Yeah, you can't really comment that much on the Oscars.
No.
It's just some films got awards, and yep, that's about it.
DiCaprio didn't get an Oscar. Boo-hoo. Ha ha.
Oh
Whatever.
no! When will he get his chance? That's what I say.
Someday.
Hang in there, Leo.
Pray for Leo.
We will all pray for Leo.
Yeah, that's it though. Oscars happened. Enough.
Alright, so what's coming up on your channel this week?
Nothing different. Same old stuff.
Lame.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's kind of that stage now where you're invested in like 2 of them now, so you can't really do much else apart from finish them.
No.
Yeah.
So Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, and by the time this has come out, I would have answered the Q&A because I decided to do a Q&A just randomly.
Ooh.
So that will be out as well.
Interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What
about you?
Well, with me, it's continuing on with Spider-Man. Donkey Kong Country, I'm not too sure because I don't have any parts recorded for that at the moment, and I'm a bit busy, so that might get put on hold for a little bit. And then also I got another review, so that's all edited and done. I actually finished that on Friday, but I'm just waiting for a gap in the schedule to put it up. So, yeah, a new review coming out next week.
By the way,
yes.
Can I just say this? What's all this? I'm now playing the levels beforehand. That's
What?
noob.
Listen,
It's more fun when you suck.
Yeah, I can still suck. I can still be bad at it.
Now, you know there are those types of YouTubers that purposely go angry and suck, right?
Yeah.
That's not fun. But the reason why it's funny when you're doing it is because you're not usually like that.
No.
So it's different.
I'm usually quite pleasant.
Yeah, you usually know what you're doing. So I don't like this whole... No, go back to blind.
I might give it a go, but I was practicing the level that will come up for part 10, and I couldn't do it. I just kind of gave up and walked away. So I might just, for that part, do it again. I might do another blind part, but I'm getting towards the end of the game. The levels are getting harder, so it was really just for time.
Yeah.
But I might give it another go.
I can understand that. It must... Like, every time you have to keep skipping forward, it must take, time eventually. It all adds up.
Yeah, like if it's a 15-part Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country, that's kind of embarrassing. Because I only got 2 more worlds to go.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, good luck to you.
I don't know, I might go back to semi-blind. I mean, it's still I don't know. I might go back to it. We'll see.
I mean, the way it sounds like you're kind of playing it but not trying to remember it.
Yeah, I'm just playing it so if there's any major things that would just catch me out, they won't catch me out. So I'm aware of it.
I think that's a good in-between, to be honest.
Yeah. So I just know that I can get to the end of the level. Like, I can do it.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, well, that's it for another podcast. So, thank you very much for joining me, Mr. McLuckable.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
See ya.